Ladies and gentlemen, it is your boy Lewis. Welcome back to the Lewis Basketball Channel. I am back here with another one. Second video of the night. It is Friday, April 26th. I know the Avengers movie is out, so if you have not gotten a chance to see it, make sure that you get tickets for that movie. I know this weekend is going to be crazy, so it's going to be kind of difficult, but in the near future, make sure that nobody spoils the movie for you. Hopefully you can get tickets to go see it, but I'm back with another one to talk about why Paul George and Russell Westbrook are two players who keep giving you this mirage, this facade, this illusion that these guys are alphas on a championship team, quote unquote championship team, but they have proven to be nothing but high octane betas that pretend to be alphas. Because let's make it clear, Paul George, or George Paul, or Playoff P, he decides to join Russell Westbrook and re-sign with the Thunder when Russell is a beta himself who keeps thinking in his right mind that he's an alpha. So he decides to go re-sign and hide from him. You know why? Because if Paul George were to perform like this in a Lakers uniform, do you know how much scrutiny he would be under? The LA media would never let him escape. They would let him have it. And the worst part is he's going to be playing with LeBron James, who, is another guy who I'm just like, pretty much either way, if Paul George was supposed to be that guy, then my thing is, why do you keep acting like such a follower? If you're supposed to be this guy, which is what I've been saying for years, ladies and gentlemen, that Paul George is a complimentary all-star. He is not a superstar. See, when he was giving you 28 a game and he started to turn heads and he hit 4 game winners in the season, people were saying, wow, Paul George may be a superstar. Yeah, for this season. But that doesn't mean that he just quickly turned the corner and just became a superstar overnight. What just happened in these playoffs? Oh, but Paul George, he had a short shoulder. And this is the thing with Paul George. He has a tendency to start well and then tail off as the season goes on. He has never been consistent. Other than the excuse of the injury that he had with his fibula injury. These last couple of years, man, he's had the opportunity to right the wrongs and change people's opinions. Because you want to say that, oh, I want to beat LeBron James. Like, I want to beat him to show that, I don't want to play with him to show him that I'm trying to carve my niche. My problem is, whose niche are you really carving? Are you carving LeBron's or are you carving Westbrook's? Because it doesn't look like you're carving your own legacy. It doesn't look like to me, because Paul George proved that he's not your best player on a championship team either. Not just Russell Westbrook, Paul George neither. These are two guys who think that they're alphas, but they're really high octane betas. That's exactly what they are. I mean, let's face it. Paul George is coming out here talking about Damian Lillard. No matter what you say, it's a bad shot. The shot that he took was a bad shot. That just tells me how salty you are that Dame ended your season when you guys were the favorites without Yusuf Nurkic, who was out with the similar injury that you had, Paul George. I'm just saying, because it was a pretty similar injury that ended his season. You guys were the favorites, and you guys choked. As a matter of fact, you were celebrating over one game where you dunked the basketball at the end of the game, and Damian Lillard and the Blazers did not like it. Because if I remember, your boy, Russ was talking all that smack. Let's see. Dennis Schroeder was waving his hands. He was waving his wrists, right? And, after one game, it's like, oh, the Thunder won the series, man. They won Game 7. That was in your minds, right? But Damian Lillard said, as the man that he is, This is how what summed up the series for both Paul George and Russell Westbrook with Damian Lillard. He says, and he goes, hence, to fight and conquer in all your battles is not supreme excellence. Supreme excellence consists of breaking the enemy's resistance without fighting. That is what sums up the series. In other words, Damian Lillard did not engage in talk with Russell Westbrook. He allowed his game to do the talking. See, Russell Westbrook was all bark, no bite. He talked the talk, but he couldn't walk the walk. Oh, but Russell had a triple-double. Really, man? You're really going to sit here and tell me that his triple-double had any impact in winning? It didn't. The Thunder lost in 5 games. Damian Lillard said, gave you the kiss of death and said, I will see you next season with that 37-foot dagger that he hit in Paul George's face. There's nothing you can do, but you just got to tip your hat to him. See? Same thing here, man. If you know the enemy and know yourself, you don't need not fear the results of 100 battles, man. Damian Lillard knows the enemy. Damian Lillard knows himself. Russell Westbrook doesn't know himself. As a matter of fact, Damian Lillard knew that as long as Russell Westbrook stays engaged in the individual matchups and trying to outshine the individual, you got the dude beat. Just look at last year. I remember game 4 vividly. I remember Rubio had a 26-point triple-double. What happens? Game 4, Rubio's calm. He's just sitting. He's meditating. Meditation, it just tells me where your mind is at. It tells me that your mind is at ease.